For the next part in this tutorial, we're now going to make the player object. Now the object is what we can control and it's what we can program. To do this, I'm going to make sure I'm in my objects folder, and then I'm going to click the player folder, which is inside the objects folder. I'm going to right click on this player, go to create, and then we're going to go to object. Like our naming convention earlier, I've started with S player, so I'm going to call this O player, and then I'm going to press enter. That then saves it for me. We then bind the sprite to the object by clicking this button here, which currently says no sprite, and then we look for the sprite. There's only one sprite there, so I click on that. Now at this moment in time, our object doesn't actually do anything. So what we're going to do is click on add event, and then we're going to put a number of key down events in. And we're going to start off with the right key. Now there's a number of ways that you can actually make an object move in GameMaker. This is one method. If you look at other tutorials, you'll see there's a myriad of different methods to use, and it doesn't really matter which method you use, providing you get the result you desire. Once you click on the right, you'll notice a code window will open. Now, to move over like I've just done, hold the middle part of your mouse down and you'll see you'll be able to move over quite easily. Before we actually go in to looking at programming, let me just show you this really quickly. If we want to move a player towards the left or the right, we are going to reference two coordinates. We're going to reference X and we're going to reference Y, depending on where we want to move. Let's say, for example, if I want to move my player over towards the right. What we would do is we'd basically then apply a value to the X. If I wanted to move my object then down, we'd then apply a value to the Y. And that will allow us to move in a direction. To do this, I'm going to use this here, which is an assign variable. I'm going to drag it in, and we're going to give the variable a name of X. Now X and Y, think of a graph. These are axes, so we can move along an axis. Just one thing to note, this is a lowercase x. We need to give it a value. I'm going to give it a value of 5. Now you'll notice there's a box here which says relative. I need you to tick that, and I'll explain what will happen if you don't later. We need to repeat this process for the left. So I'm going to click on add event. We're going to go to key down and we're going to go to the left. We're going to drag one of these variable blocks in. This time it's going to be X, but because we want to move towards the left, we're going to say -5 relative. That way it's going to move then 5 pixels that way. Now we need to do up and down as well, so let's go add event. Let's go down to key down, and then we're going to go to up. We're going to drag in an assign variable. This time, instead of X, we're going to use Y. And then what we want to do is we want to give this a negative number to move up, and make sure it's set to relative. You're going to do exactly the same then for down. So add event, key down, and then down. We're going to then drag that in. We're going to put Y, give it a value, and then relative. Now once you're done with this, you can then close this object down, because all of the code will save. It's also a good point to save your project now, just in case something goes wrong.